fifth verse, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahweh, my power, commanded me. And this is Moses, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Now there's an account in 2 Kings, 17th chapter, around about the 20, you can start at about the 20th verse, how the kingdom of Israel was pushed out of the land and how these heathen nations were put in the land by the orders of Shalmaneser V of Assyria. And what happened was the Most High sent lions among them to attack them and kill them. So what they found out was that they wasn't keeping the laws of the land, because when you're in that land, you got to keep the laws. That's the Most High's holy land. So they sent one, not a company, not 5, not 10, not 2, but one priest to teach them the laws. And when they began to keep the laws, the Most High took the spirit off of the lions not to attack them. So did the other nations keep the laws? Yeah, they were forced to keep the laws, even though they weren't Israelites. And ultimately, in the kingdom, they're gonna be forced to keep the laws. That's why we're going to be a kingdom of priests. Why are we going to be priests in the kingdom? Because we got to teach the laws to the other nations. Isaiah 2 verse 2. That's the great reset. That's the true reset. Sixth verse. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people, because that's what they're going to say in the kingdom. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And are the people mourning right now? Yeah, because of the reason why there's poor, because you have debt. There's a law in the scriptures where if you have a field and you gather wheat or grapes or whatever you gather, you have to leave 10% to the poor. So guess what? There was really no such thing as poor people. You was always able to eat. And that's why Esau has what's called a welfare system, and he has to have a welfare system. He doesn't have a welfare system and a Medicaid and a Medicare system and a Social Security system because he loves you. He has it because, man, it would, if people were dirt poor and they didn't have nothing, they would just lose it, man. They would lose it. And that's what's happening out there in LA right now. LA and San Francisco, those homeless people are out there in tents and they're sitting on the ground and peeing on the ground and needles and if you walk down that area, you could be jumped. So people are leaving. You've been watching the news. People are leaving New York. Midtown New York is a ghost town. Out there in certain parts of LA, San Francisco, is pretty much people are leaving. They're going to places like Texas and Florida. And Texas, they want to create their own country. They don't want to have anything to do with the U.S. This place is totally corrupt. And the Most High, he's going to have to come in. I was watching a video down there in Haiti, Port-au-Prince, Haiti. They raising hell down there. And that's happening all around the world. You know, the thing with the White House, the Capitol building being, you had those Edomites go down there and bust in there, which we know what really happened. But that's order out of chaos. All this chaos that's taking place, order's going to come out of that. I mean, if you can't see that this man is done, something's wrong with you. And they're trying to make a change, but it's too late. They can't. Hey, the scripture said, "Man's going up is of the Lord. How can a man understand his own way?" Esau doesn't know what's really going on. It speaks about the wise men of Teman losing their wisdom and understanding. The book of Obadiah is being played out right now. Seventh verse, Deuteronomy 4 verse 7. For what nation is there so great, and who has the Most High so nigh unto them, as Yahweh, our power is in all things that we call upon him for. And like I said, the last two verses, I'm going to read up until 9, I'm going to close it. 8th verse. And what nation is there so great that hath statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law? And I mentioned two of the laws, which was the Great Reset laws, the year Jubilee. You can read about that, and I'll go more into detail in the next coming videos. The Jubilee and the year of release, which comes every 7 years. Then you have how does it go? Seven sevens. So you have 7 year releases, and then on that 7th one, going into the 49th to the 50th year, is the year of Jubilee. So if you're in debt in any way, you're free from that. You're completely free from that debt. That's why Esau has what's called a statute of limitations. This man is done, and he knows he's done. He's scrambling to keep in power. He's not going to remain in power. The Most High sets the boundaries, man. He take us down one and set us up another. So it's your turn. As Screwface said, or Scarface, whatever his name from Mark for Death. It's your turn. Stop the blood clot crying. It's your turn. You're done. You're fucking done. You're done. You're done. Matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me give you another. Give you another. Bear me for a second. Yeah, precepts start coming to my head, but Job 14 verse 5, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Let me read the 6th verse. Turn from him that he may rest. Turn from him that he may rest till he shall accomplish as in highland his day. For there is hope of a tree, if it is cut down, that it will sprout again, and that the tender branch thereof will not cease. Now, in the case of Esau, he's going to be uprooted. He's going to be uprooted. You cut down the tree will grow back. In Esau's case, he's going to be uprooted. So he'll never come back again. Then he's going to be exterminated. So vocab, Malone, if you're an Edomite, that's your ass. You better hope you're Israelite. Oh, man. Last verse, and I'm going to close on this. Deuteronomy 44, verse 9. Only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, meaning all the nations around about Egypt, they all spoke about it. They all spoke about the great things that the great power Alashadja did to the people of Mizraim and their kingdom. Because even Esau was afraid of them, of the Israelites. The king of Moab at that time wanted Israel to be cursed, because when the Most High set free the Israelites, they came out with power. Everybody's speaking about the Israelites, and they disappeared for 40 years and came back and started taking over the nations round about. And we're going to do that again. You're going in, all you nations are going to be up under us. Middle of the 9th verse. Unless they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them to thy sons and thy sons' sons. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom. So let's see what happens with this these videos I'm gonna do dealing with the law, because we gotta you can't say, look, man, keep the law. You gotta know the law to keep the law. You gotta know the law to keep the law. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom.